When investigators finally broke through the iron gates of Victoria Ashford's abandoned mansion, after 15 years of complete silence, they expected to find dust and decay. But what they discovered inside those walls was so disturbing, so meticulously planned, that it sent shockwaves through the entire country. And when you hear what this billionaire was hiding in plain sight, you'll understand why her disappearance was never really a mystery at all. It was a message. Victoria Ashford was once the 5th richest woman in America, a tech mogul who built a software empire worth $8 billion before she turned 40. She graced the covers of Forbes, and Time magazine gave TED Talks about innovation, and female leadership donated millions to children's hospitals and cancer research, and lived in a sprawling estate in the hills of Northern California that was worth over $60 million, with 32 rooms, an indoor pool, a private theater, and gardens that stretched as far as the eye could see. But on November 14, 2008, Victoria Ashford vanished without a trace. She missed a board meeting, then a charity gala, then a television interview, and when her assistant went to check on her, the mansion was locked. The cars were in the garage, and Victoria was simply gone, as if she had been erased from existence. The police launched an investigation. They searched the property, interviewed her staff, examined her financial records, but found nothing suspicious. No signs of struggle, no ransom demands, no evidence of foul play. Her bank accounts remained untouched, her credit cards were never used, and her phone last pinged from a cell tower near her home before going dark forever. The media went into a frenzy. Speculation ran wild. Some believed she had been kidnapped by corporate rivals. Others thought she staged her own disappearance to escape the pressures of fame. Conspiracy theorists claimed she was murdered by someone close to her, and tabloids published dozens of theories, each more outrageous than the last. But as months turned into years, the story faded from headlines, and Victoria Ashford became just another cold case, another unsolved mystery filed away in a dusty cabinet somewhere. Her company was sold. Her assets were frozen, and her mansion sat empty for 15 years, surrounded by high walls and security cameras that no longer worked. The gardens grew wild. The pool turned green with algae, and the once magnificent estate became a ghostly monument to a woman who had simply disappeared into thin air. Then, in 2023, a distant cousin petitioned the court to declare Victoria legally dead, so the estate could be settled. And a team of investigators, lawyers, and forensic specialists was finally granted access to the property to conduct a thorough search before it could be sold. What they found in the first few rooms seemed normal enough. Expensive furniture covered in dust sheets, artwork still hanging on the walls, a grand piano in the music room. Everything preserved exactly as Victoria had left it, like a time capsule from 15 years ago. But when they reached the east wing of the mansion, they discovered something that made absolutely no sense. Behind a bookshelf in Victoria's private study, they found a hidden door, and behind that door was a staircase leading down into a massive underground bunker that didn't appear on any architectural plans. The bunker was fully furnished with a bedroom, a kitchen, a bathroom, and most disturbingly, walls covered floor to ceiling with documents, photographs, newspaper clippings, and handwritten notes, thousands of them all connected by red string like something out of a detective's conspiracy board. The investigators stood in stunned silence as they realized what they were looking at. This wasn't a panic room or a wine cellar. This was a research facility. And Victoria Ashford had been investigating something big, something dangerous, something that ultimately led to her disappearance. The walls told a story that nobody could have imagined. Victoria had been secretly investigating a massive pharmaceutical conspiracy involving 3 of the largest drug companies in the world. Companies that were deliberately suppressing cancer treatment research to protect their profits from chemotherapy drugs. She had spent years collecting evidence, interviewing whistleblowers, gathering internal documents, and building an airtight case that would have destroyed these corporations and saved millions of lives. But here's where the story takes an even darker turn, because as the investigators examined the evidence more closely, they realized that Victoria hadn't disappeared. She had been disappeared. One of the documents was a letter she had written to herself dated November 13, 2008, the day before she vanished, and in it, she explained everything. Victoria knew they were coming for her. She had received death threats. Her car had been tampered with. A break-in at her office had been staged to look like a robbery. And she knew that once she went public with her findings, she would become a target. So she made a choice. A devastating, lonely, impossible choice. She decided to disappear on her own terms, to leave behind all the evidence in this hidden bunker, hoping that someday someone would find it and finish what she started. The letter explained that she had planned her disappearance meticulously. She had fake identification, a new name, and enough cash hidden away to start over somewhere far away. She wrote that she couldn't trust the police, the government, or even her closest friends, because the conspiracy went deeper than anyone realized. And the only way to protect the evidence was to make everyone believe she was dead or kidnapped, so no one would think to look for what she had hidden. The investigators immediately contacted the FBI, who launched a massive investigation into the pharmaceutical companies Victoria had been researching, and within months, federal raids uncovered exactly what she had documented. Executives were arrested, billions of dollars in fines were issued, and the suppressed cancer research was finally released to independent laboratories around the world. Victoria Ashford had been right about everything, and her sacrifice had not been in vain. But the question everyone wanted answered was, where was Victoria now? Was she still alive, living under a new identity in some quiet town, watching the news coverage of her vindication from afar? Or had the people she exposed found her anyway, silencing her before she could ever return to claim her victory? 6 months after the discovery, a package arrived at the FBI field office with no return address. Inside was a USB drive containing a video file, and when they played it, they saw Victoria Ashford, older, grayer, but unmistakably alive, sitting in a simple room with white walls, and she spoke directly to the camera with tears streaming down her face. She said she had watched everything unfold from her hiding place, that she had seen justice finally served, and that she wanted people to know the truth. She hadn't been kidnapped. She hadn't been murdered. She had made a choice to abandon everything she loved: her company, her home, her identity, because some things are more important than personal comfort. Some truths are worth sacrificing everything to expose. Victoria explained that she could never come back, that even with the arrests and the investigations, there were still powerful people who wanted her dead, people who would never stop looking for her. So she would remain in hiding for the rest of her life, a ghost who haunts the conscience of an industry built on suffering. And she ended the video with a simple message: if you have evidence of wrongdoing, if you know about corruption or injustice, don't wait for someone else to speak up. Don't assume someone more powerful or more qualified will handle it, because they won't. The system protects itself, and the only way to break it is for ordinary people to do extraordinary things, even when it costs them everything. The video went viral. Millions of people watched Victoria's final message, and her story became a rallying cry for whistleblowers and activists around the world. The mansion was eventually sold, and the new owners turned it into a foundation dedicated to supporting people who expose corporate corruption. The underground bunker was preserved as a museum, a reminder of one woman's incredible courage and devastating sacrifice. Victoria Ashford abandoned her entire life, her billions, her legacy, her very identity. Not because she was weak or scared, but because she was strong enough to understand that some battles can't be won by playing by the rules. Sometimes you have to disappear to make the truth visible. Sometimes you have to lose everything to help everyone. And sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is walk away from power itself. If this story gave you chills, smash that like button right now. Subscribe to this channel for more incredible true stories that will leave you speechless. Share this video with everyone you know, because Victoria's message needs to be heard. And drop a comment telling us what you would sacrifice to expose the truth. Would you give up everything like Victoria did? Or would you stay silent? Let us know down below, and remember, the most chilling discoveries aren't always about what happened. Sometimes they're about what people are willing to do to make sure it never happens again.